here, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I am working on a press-on order for my client Lisa. You guys have seen some of her different sets on my channel before. She usually doesn't have too many parameters that she wants me to follow with her nail art, and we go over some like different types of ideas that maybe she wants, but for the most part I can just do whatever I want. So I was thinking of this video, some of like the more trendy nail art that I see right now. One of them is like this fish design here, which I find just so funny that this is like trendy right now, but I ran it. She actually sent me a picture of this saying that this is something that she liked, and I was like, that's so funny, because we were talking about that, about doing a design like that for this video. And then also I love the idea of like junk nails, where you put on like a whole bunch of different 3D elements on the nail designs. And for some people they would look like gaudy and you would never wear them, but for me personally, I love them. Back in the day when I used to work on clients, I had one client who would get 3D nails all over every single nails at every single appointment, and it was always so much fun for me. So I'm very much looking forward to that design. So we'll see how many we can get done in this video. It might end up being a two-part video. She ended up ordering 9 sets for me, so I will likely film the majority of her sets and show you guys on YouTube here. So let's get started. I have some of her sets sized here already. I sized the medium coffin set, but I'm actually just waiting for, why am I missing this one? Did you fall off somewhere? I'm actually just waiting for the medium almonds to come in, which is her other sizing that she ordered. Right, so we are gonna get these all filed, and then the next thing we need to do is just apply a primer to them. There's usually just like a little nub at the front of these that just needs to be filed down. And then I don't usually file like all the way on top of the press-ons. I just use a tip primer. And that has worked very well for me over the years. I'm going to take some of the Aprés tip primer. This is the tip primer that I use for all my press-ons and in all of my videos, and it's really nice because all you really have to do is just kind of brush it on, and it leaves kind of like a sticky layer that's going to help all the next steps that you put on just apply really nicely. I find when you're using this, you don't need to use a base coat or anything like that. You can just go in straight with your color next. So the design that we're going to work on first is these fish lure nails. So this is a full completed set, and how it ends up turning out. I'm going to show you 5 different designs in this video. This is the first one here, and I really liked this one because it adds a little bit of depth, and we can work with some glass gels too. So I'm going to take this color here from Luxio. It is a really nice like pewtery silver type of color, but it's got flecks of purple and pink in it, so I thought it'd be really nice for this design. I'm going to go in and do a couple coats down. After that's cured, I'm going to take the blue glass gel from the Accents glass gel, and then after I've painted it down, I'm just going to turn it on its side. I'm going to kind of feather it out so it looks like it fades a little bit more, but I did want this edge to be a little bit more bold, so once it's cured, I went in and did a second coat there. Usually when I'm going to do hand painting, I reach for my Aprés French manicure series that I've put in this little palette, and I'm just going to use the black one from that to create these kind of like curved lines. Now the nice thing about these fish lure nails is it really doesn't matter like how you do the lines, if they're a little bit jaggedy or anything. They don't have to be straight, they don't have to be perfect. You really don't have to worry about any of that when you're creating the designs, because it's all just going to turn out really neat anyway, and sometimes like the little imperfections kind of add to the design. So I did decide to make some of the lines a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to fill them in so that they all look a little bit different. But I was thinking like the main goal of this fish lure set is that all of the nails are like really sparkly or like really chromy, so that like, for example, if they were actual fish lures and you put them into the water, the fish would like be really attracted to them. So that was my main goal with all of this design. After I've cured those black lines, I'm going to go in with a big dot to create like the eye. I'm going to cure that and then just go in with a smaller dot in the center here. And then this design is pretty much complete. You could definitely go in and add like little spots or anything else to it, but I decided to leave this one just as is. So I'm going to top coat it, and this is how the first one turns out in the design. The next one I'm going to do is like this really fun kind of gradient holographic fish lure. So I'm going to start with this really pretty blue. I like using the Accents Luxio gel polishes if I'm going to create kind of like a gradient looking effect, because they have like a really nice jelly consistency. I'm going to use this really pretty pink one that I featured in my last like unboxing create video, and I'm going to go and put that down on the side. And I'm creating these like really thin layers because I'm actually going to do quite a few different layers in this, which you're going to see. And then I am going to kind kind of overlap the colors a little bit just to kind of make them melt together. I don't care if this is a perfect ombre or anything because we're going to add so many different layers that it doesn't really matter. But I did go in with like that milky blue gel polish from that haul as well, just to kind of see how it would look with the pink. And I didn't really like how it kind of turned the pink a little bit too blue. So I am going to go back in with pink and like go over top of it. I did decide to take some of that glass gel in both the pink as well as the blue and just kind of melt the colors a little bit even more together. I really liked how this ended up blending the two colors kind of nicely together. To show you a bunch of really cool chromes in this video, but this one, Prism, is one of my hands down favorites, and I'm pretty sure that I featured it in like a favorites video before. So I went down with some of the Accents top coat first and cured it for about 30 seconds, and then I went in and did the Prism chrome right on top, and it gives like this really nice holographic look, which I loved, but I also felt like it kind of took away from a little bit of the coloring. So I'm going to go back in with some of that milky blue as well as that glass gel polish just right on top so that you can make the colors pop a little bit. And the nice thing is that holographic chrome is so pigmented that it is going to pop through it anyway. Cure those colors, and then I'm going to go back in and do some more of these kind of squiggly lines. And I kind of varied the lines, whether they were like straight or if they were a little bit curved. I was just kind of playing around with it and having fun with it. Just do whatever you really feel like with it. It doesn't really matter if they are perfect or if each nail is different, which is what ends up happening with this design. This one turns out to be one of my favorites because it is just so sparkly after you get the top coat on top of it. So the next design we're going to do is this cat eye one, which we do kind of like a spotted cat eye. It turns out really neat. So I'm going to work with this gel bottle color, and the gel bottle cat eyes are so nice. The magnetic properties pull so good, and not only that, but like they hold really good. So you can use like your cat eye gel polish down and then go in with your magnet, and you don't have to worry about like the magnetic properties kind of like shifting away. And I've had some recommendations to like not use metal stands, and that will help your cat eye as well. I just don't have any. All I have is metal. I've tried to like look at my collection because I thought I had plastic ones, but every single one of them turns out to be metal. So I'm not too sure if that makes a difference because I've had the same thing happen when I'm using just swatch sticks and there's no metal in it. So I'm not too sure. But anyway, I'm going to go down with two coats here. The first coat with the cat eye that I pull, I don't really care how it pulls because the second one I find is what matters. So I'm just going to like use the magnetic right on top, and then I'm just gonna go in and pull the cat eye in like a weird splotchy pattern. I didn't really have a rhyme or reason to this. I just wanted it to look like it kind of was spotted, and this particular color worked really well for it. So after I've cured that, I'm gonna go in with some of the black and just create some bigger spots in one of the corners here. And I did decide to make the eye color for this one a little bit different. So I'm gonna take this IBD cat eye gel polish. It's this really pretty like metallic sunsetty color, and I'm gonna go in and do a dot down with that, and then I'm just gonna use my magnet to kind of pull it and make it look a little bit more like an eyeball. I don't know, this color worked really good for it, but I think I should have gone in and done two coats with it. I'm gonna do like a black eyeball for the center, and then I decided to add like just a red gill for this particular look. I did find it looked really cool doing a different color eye, especially with that one with it being yellow. This one I have a different color eye too. Now for this look, we're gonna have it look like a pastel rainbow. So I'm gonna use the Fortify Sunset Sorbet collection that Fusion recently released. And I've got a bunch of the different colors down on my little palette here. And I'm just gonna take a really small brush. This one's from Accents, and I love the size of the head with this one, especially because it makes it really easy for applying your products down. And I'm just randomly putting the colors down in a random pattern. It really doesn't matter. You're going to see more of this design later on in the tutorial as well, but do not be too picky as to where you put your different colors. I just wanted to make sure that I had all of the different colors down on the nail. Now doing this technique can make the nail have like a little bit of raised divots, I guess. So one thing I love about the Accents top coat is that it fills in all of the grooves. So you're gonna have a nice smooth nail after you've applied the top coat. And for the chrome, I'm gonna use this iridescent one. This one would be another top one of mine. Like I love the chromes from the gel bottle, but if I had to only pick like two, it would be Prism and this one because I just think they're just such versatile products. But this one really gives a nice like gold sheen to the design.
design, and it really makes those colors of the pastel kind of like blend together nicely as well. So after I have that chrome down, same thing, I'm just going to go in and do some like really squiggly lines. The more that I did this design, the more that I ended up making the lines a little bit more squigglier and like a little bit more random. And I love combining like the lines as well as like some little polka dots on the nail. I think that that worked really cool. I think that just even a few small polka dots just really adds to like the fish look of the nails. Now for the little eyeball, I did want to do something a little different. So I am using the cat eye from Accents, and I'm just placing that down. And at first I wasn't too sure about it because it looked a little bit clear, but with this particular design, it ends up looking really neat, like almost like an actual fish eye. Like their eyes are like so kind of creepy looking. And this one gave like a really cool effect to it. So I'm just going to do a black dot in the center for it. And this is this nail design. I think this one is again one of my favorites from the look because I think it just looks so cool, especially with the rainbow pattern underneath of it. So this is the last design that I'm going to share with you in this video. So this is like a really bright green color. So I'm going to use Cyber from Luxio. I absolutely love this green. I have worn it on my nails, which is just like so not like me. Like I'm not usually a green girl, but it is just like the perfect shade, and it is great for, I thought, just spring and summer maybe, but all year round as well. And then this color here is called Alien from IBD, and it is a flash gel, so it's going to give like a really sparkly look. And I just wanted to do that on like one side of the nail as well. And after that's cured, I did decide to go in with some more of that green glass gel from Accents, and I love using glass gels over top of other colors because it gives it like more of a glass look, and it kind of adds to like the really unique look of this design, especially for it being a fish lure nail. Like it kind of looks a little bit more realistic. So using one of the Aprés glass gels here, it's like a turquoisey type of color, and I'm just adding some big dots onto the green gel here. And I did this after I had cured the glass gel, but I was thinking of it after, like when I was doing this, I was like, if I wouldn't have cured that glass gel and gone in, it would have given it like more of like a blooming gel effect, which I also think would have looked really cool with this design. Was just going to leave this nail design like it was, but I decided to just add like a few little stripes to it. It just kind of adds to it, but you could leave it with just the little polka dots too. So that was all the designs in this video, but I do have the 5 other designs. I just filmed short content for it, so you guys will see it up on my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube shorts of all of these different little fishy designs. I wanted to do 10 different ones for the look. This one is actually another one of my favorites, just because I know my client loves like variety and to have all of the nails different, so I knew that she would appreciate this set. This was like way more fun to do than I thought this set was gonna be. It was kind of like, I don't know, I wasn't too sure if I was gonna enjoy doing it, but being able to use like a whole bunch of different products and different chromes, and like especially the glass gels because I love working with them, was just so fun. So I'm just gonna get this one put on the card here for my client. When my clients order like a press-on booking or like a pre-designed look, I always include like a simple set with them too. That way they can pair the design with their like actual nails as well, and it'll kind of tone down the design because I usually make my nail designs like pretty out there. So for this one, I just loved the look of that pastel nail design that we did where we just put the different colors down and then did a chrome on top, and I thought it'd be really cool to have like a whole set of that. So that's what I'm gonna do here, is just take some more of that Fusion Sunset Sorbet collection and just go in and put that down on the nails and create 10 different ones with like random colors on them. But then for the chromes, I'm actually going to use 5 different chromes instead of just the one. I thought that would give like a really cool effect to it. It's interesting because we see so many different collections launched throughout the year, but I knew that instantly this Fusion one would be one that I reached for quite a bit. I feel like the shades are like not too light of a pastel and not too bright of a pastel, and they work for so many different types of nail art. The consistency of these is a little bit more runny too. So for some different nail designs, it works really well, such as like ombre or something like this, where it doesn't really matter if the colors kind of like bleed into each other. I really like working with them, and I've reached for them a lot. You're going to see them a little bit more more throughout my social media as well. So after I have those all cured, I'm going to take some of my Accents Shine On, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to top coat over top of the nails, cure them for 30 seconds in my lamp. I find that that works the best, but play around with your lamp as well just to see which one works for chrome. That's the tricky part with chrome, is getting like your top coat to cure exactly right so that it's not too sticky for the chrome and it's not too like not sticky so the chrome doesn't stick. So I am going to turn it upside down as well. That'll help like make the product go on evenly. The first chrome that I'm going to use is called Pearl, and this one has like a purpley pink type of hue to it. It worked so good for this design because we're working with pastels. And then the next chrome that I'm going to work with is called Spectrum, and this one has a little bit more of like an orangey gold hue to it. So when I apply that down, it's not quite as like shiny as the iridescent color is, but it still gives like a really cool look to the nails. And then the next one that I'm going to use is this one called Luster. This has a green kind of tinge to it. So again, because we've got some of that green in all of the nails, it really did a cool look with it. And I loved working with all of the different chromes here so that you guys can get an idea of what they all kind of do. I have such a tough time recommending like my absolute favorites of these ones, but iridescent would be like one of it for sure, because I love this one. I think it's just so versatile over top of any color, and it doesn't really take away the color that's underneath it as well. Some chromes can do that, like the next one that I'm going to share with you here. This one is Prism, again, you're going to see, and love this color. However, it does go on like pretty pigmented, and for me, I found that this kind of took away from like the colors underneath here, so I don't actually end up keeping this one for the pinky nail. I'm going to switch to a different chrome, but I did want to show you guys like what that kind of looked like too. So this one is called Iced, and this is a white chrome, so it is great if you just want like a sheen to the nails, or if you want something to have a little bit more of a white look to it. So this is what all of the different chromes look like on top of the nails. So pretty. So another plus of using the Accents top coat is that it seals over top of chrome really nicely. Sometimes if you're sealing over chrome, you can get like pits in it, or you can get chipping or anything. And I find with this particular product that I never have any issues with my chromes like looking funny or chipping or anything. So I'm going to go in and do one coat. If you want to like ensure that your chromes are not going to chip, another way to do it is to like buff like your edges, so that your chrome, like your top coat, will seal in really well. Or you can go in and do two coats as well, but I do find for press-ons that one coat tends to be okay for my clients. So this is what the completed look looks like. It is such a fun look, especially for summer here. I know that my client is going to like this one. I think these two sets pair really nicely together, so it'll work good for her to like intermix them too if she wanted to. So the next design we're going to work on is this one that has been labeled like junk nails. I think they're so fun. I don't know. I know they're not everybody's style, but first I'm going to start with like her one color, like simple complementary set, and we're going to work with lip gloss from Luxio. This is just such a stunning, like transparent, glassy type of gel product. I ended up getting the big one of this one because I knew that I would reach for it quite a bit, and I knew that her like junk nails were going to be like pretty heavy on design, so I'm just going to do this product for her complimentary one, and I'm going to go in and I ended up doing 3 coats because I do want it to be pretty opaque but still give like that glossy type of look to it as well. I find you can definitely get away with 2 with this one, but it just depends on like what kind of look you're going for with your nails. This is just such a pretty shade. I love wearing this color, and I love giving it to my clients as well because I know that they're going to enjoy wearing it. So a color that kind of has a similar consistency to that one is called Blossom, except this one is a little bit more of a brighter pink. So this is what I'm going to use for the base of my nails that I'm going to do some French tips on. And I do end up going in and doing only 2 coats for this one because I'm going to add a little bit more glitter to it. My client Lisa loves like glitter and like really sparkly fun nails, so I knew that I wasn't just going to keep this one as the base. Every time I use this color, I'm like, I need to put this on my nails because I know that I would love it. So this is the base, and we're going to do some French tips in some really bright colors. I knew that I wanted to have like some pop of color coming out from underneath the nails on like with all of the stuff that we were going to put on top of it. You're not going to see it so much, but another like benefit to doing this is that I found I was able to like pull pieces that had different colors, and it kind of just like all worked together in the end. So when I'm doing my French tips, I like to kind of outline it with like a long striper brush, and then I go in with just the like gel polish actual bottle to fill in the majority of the product. I find I can get a pretty concentrated French tip this way, and then I'll end up going in and cleaning up my lines. I also love like a really deep French tip, and I know that that is not everybody's style, but thankfully my clients like it as well. I just think it makes like your hands look longer, and like I love the look of it. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna do different Frenches. I've got a purple one here, and then we're gonna go in and do this color next. Is this really beautiful teal color as well. And for my nails, I end up doing like them different per hand. So I'm not going to do like the thumbnail purple on the other hand and the pointer nail teal on the other hand. I end up like completely doing it different, and I do that quite a bit for my clients. I know you guys have seen this pink before on my channel. This is Latchkey Pink from Aprés. It is just such a stunning bright pink. It's what I have on my nails now as well. If I don't know what to do on my nails, I'll usually reach for this one because it's one that I love and one that I don't feel the need to like change quite often because it's just so bright and bold. And then the next color that we're going to do down here is this yellow one, and it is really bright. It does go like a teeny bit streaky though, so I did find that like I went in and did the coat down here, but I do end up taking like my striper brush and kind of like dragging the color through itself a little bit more, and I find that I was able to get it to look a little bit more pigmented. And then on the pinky nail, I'm going to go in with this really pretty lime green. I struggled with this one because I was thinking, should I do it a little bit more of like a brighter, darker green, but I ended up doing this one and it worked out well because the 3D elements that I put on it end up kind of like popping with this color anyways. Now I do love the base that blossom color gave. However, I know Lisa loves her sparkles, so I'm going to take this gel bottle color, and it is called Supernova. It's a nice like light sparkle to it, and it's got like a pink and purple like reflect with the glitter, so I knew that it would pair really nicely with this set. And I'm just going to paint that down like where the French is on top of that blossom color, and this is kind of like the goal that we're going for, like so much stuff just kind of put on the nails. Nice thing is though is that you can see that the French tip is still poking through. So first thing I'm going to do is remove my dispersion layer, and I don't think this step is at all necessary, but I did want to add a little bit of extra stuff so that it looks a little bit layered. So I'm going to go in with some nail decals before I go in with my 3D. I had these ones that kind of just look like gems, as well as like a really nice like liney type of one that almost looks like a chain on the nails, and these do get covered up, so you're not going to see like a lot of this with the design, but you can see some of it. And then I found that I was able to use like less 3D elements because I had these as the background. If I can try and find a link for these nail decals, I will. I ended up bringing these in when I had Flora back in the day, and I have yet to use them, so I was really excited to use them on this set, but I will try and find a link for you guys because these are really cool. They just look like really nice little gems, and especially if you had clients that like didn't like 3D embellishments or anything, then these would work really well for it. But I'm just gonna go in and I decided to put like 2 smaller gems on each of the nails, and I tried to avoid like the actual French tip quite a bit. For the most part, there's just like a little bit on it because I did want that color to pop through as much as possible. Now, if I was to do this design over again, I think I would keep each of the color families to the specific nails. So I would have all green like embellishments on the green nails, all pink on the pink nails, and like all the way through. I decided not to do that. I actually wanted it to like tie all of the colors together on the whole design, but I think that would look really cool if you were to just like keep to a color palette for each of the nails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with that Accents top coat, and while it's still wet, I'm going to take some of my Glitter Mix Canada crystal like application gel, and I'm just going to drop some like bigger blobs down, and with the goal that this is where I'm going to be putting most of my larger embellishments. So I have a whole variety of 3D embellishments from like back in the day when I worked on clients, and some of them I have gathered like over the last few months because 3D has been something that has been a little bit more trending and something that my personal press-on clients have been asking for a little bit more, so it has been so fun to work with 3D embellishments a bit more. I am going to throw in some Swarovski crystals as well because I absolutely love them. They give so much sparkle, and she did add a little bit of, actually not a little bit, she added crystals to her order, so I'm going to make sure that I'm putting in a bunch of them on the different sets that I'm doing, well, most of the different sets. So I ended up switching that one bow because I thought the yellow one paired a little bit nicer, and the green one didn't really match the green that we have in this set. So after I've cured that, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of this gel, and I'm going to just fill in the centers of the flowers here. I find that bouillon beads work the best, but I do have some of these like larger pearls that work too. I have put like the crystals in them as well, but because they're not like fully round, I find they kind of just stand up a little bit funny. So things that are like a little bit more rounder I find work really well. So for this pink nail here, again, we're just going to do the same steps, go in with our top coat and then go in with our Glitter Mix Canada like embellishment gel, which is quite a bit thicker, but when you put it on top of the top coat here, it just kind of like bleeds out. I am really hoping that these hold well for her by doing this technique. She'll have to give me some feedback with it. I don't like to just put 3D embellishments in top coat, like you need a little bit more strength for that. However, I didn't want to do top coat and then go in with a 3D gel because I wanted the top coat to cure around all of the products as well. So if you're finding that everything is spreading too much, just take your top coat and line the sides like that before you go in and cure, and it'll just kind of even it out a little bit more. This nail here ends up turning out to be one of my favorites. I really liked the different colors that I chose for it, like the purple and the pink, and I think I end up throwing in a little bit of yellow too, but it all just really pops with that teal. And this nail here is exactly why I didn't want to go in and make the embellishments all match the colors underneath, even though I think that would look a really cool as well. And then this nail, the yellow one, I thought that like a big pop of yellow with the 3D embellishments would really tie together. So I ended up doing a huge flower there, and then the butterfly in the French tip is yellow as well. These little flowers that you see on all of the nails are some of my favorite. I think they look so cool for 3D embellishments, and you guys would have seen in another tutorial video that I did this like really pretty garden set where we worked with just butterflies and flowers, and those flowers worked really well for it too. So again, we're just going to go in and fill the centers in for all the different flowers for this design. The big pearl in the yellow one worked so cool. So this is the completed set here with all of them done. They are very, very busy, but I know my client and I was pretty sure that she would like these, and she said that she absolutely loves them. So would you guys try this nail design? Would your clients like them? Definitely comment below and let me know. And also the fish lure set. I was not expecting that one to be as popular as like it was. Like on Facebook, it just blew up, which was kind of crazy for me because Facebook just does not hit. But it was very fun to do. So comment below and let me know if you guys would do them either. Make sure you're following me on all my social media, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!